let's get started. Oh, went right past the screen. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well. Yeah, we're continuing on with what we were doing last time. We're just making modifications to the API and getting that sort of sorted. So, currently on my board, I am tackling a couple of things. So if I go into this at the moment, there we go. You'll see the remove ID / name attributes instead of placed within an object. We're currently doing that. We've also got implement pagination like DRF, that we're also doing that. Enum set up for all priorities. Currently going through that too. Document each API module with Swagger. So we're doing these particular 4 tasks all at the same time, with the idea that we'll come back and do the unit tests shortly. And the implement Swagger for API documentation, we've got a site that is ready to accept our Swagger stuff. We've just got to implement the GitHub attributes, and I just need to sit down and do that. It sadly is an off-stream sort of thing because I'm dealing with credentials and so forth like that. And we're not too worried about the implementation of the admins and stuff like that until we're really happy with the API. We're keeping it as a hidden feature for the moment. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and counted how many nodes we have. We currently have 20 nodes, API nodes, and we have done 2 completions of those 4 tasks. So we've still got 18 more to go. A lot of them will be a lot quicker than other ones because we don't have much to do with them. And in some cases, for example, pagination won't occur on some of the data because we're assuming that the front end will want everything. So yeah, let's jump back into it. Let's start our local environment. I've been working on this on and off throughout the weekend. So we've already got, if we go into here, views, API, Kanban board. So the Kanban board and projects I have completed. So as you see, they've got the Swagger documentation in there along with an example. We've sort of shrunk down the create sort of process and stuff like that. So yeah, and I've just finished the Kanban API. So I'm quite happy with it. And once again, all of this needs to be tested thoroughly. I wanted to get the Kanban cards done, and then I want to test everything and then push it out and be like, all right, cool, here it is. We also have a bug that we're going to fix tonight too, and we've just hit our first ad break. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch, so people don't get pre-rolled ads. Don't worry, you don't get any ads, and we tend to do this so no one misses out on any content. Usually I will solve a Rubik's Cube or something like that. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well tonight. Yeah. Oh. And there's the cube solved. How are we with time? We've got about still 20 seconds left. Not a problem. Yeah. Cool. I'm just trying to think. I also have And welcome back, everyone. Okay. Going with this, we're going to go into our issues. We've also got a bug that we're going to fix tonight too. This is a critical one, so this one's getting fixed no matter what. And I'm thinking let's probably fix this straight away, because we kind of want to, yeah, we kind of want to get this out the door, and then I can do a release towards the end of the stream. Yeah, all right, cool. So we're going to fix this one first. So I'm just going to have to stop that. I'm going to jump into the terminal. I'm going to go git checkout main, git pull, git checkout develop, git pull, git merge main, git push. We had a couple of pull requests come through into main, where I'm just pushing them into our develop branch, so the development branch doesn't go too far behind. All right, sweet. So I'm happy with that. We're gonna have to set this up. So I'm just gonna start this. I'm gonna go into here. Let's go localhost. Let's just go search. Let's actually jump into dark admin. Easy done. Now there's only one in here so far, so I'm just going to go new object Kanban board. We're just going to go Kanban board 1. Include the QA in here. All right, Kanban board 2. Kanban board 3. I need to make more than 5. Kanban board 4. Kanban board 5. And let's go search all objects. So if we go into here and we click on this, we get this particular error down here. If we go into our network tab and do that again, you'll see it pops up like this, 500 internal server error. We've got a bunch of all of this. I'm going to untick that. So cannot unpack non-iterable non-type object. So we've got a problem. Okay, so easiest way to solve this is we need to go search data and track that. So that would be part of the URLs. Yep, easy done. I'm just double clicking on that. That will be part of search data there. We're going to go to that implementation. I'm just going to close everything else at the moment. We're going to put a breakpoint there. An easy way to replicate that, I'm just clicking on that. Bam. So now we're just debugging. So I want to step forward. So the form is valid. Everything's perfectly fine. I think it's this one particular line that's breaking. Let's step forward. It is. All right, we're going to hit play. We're going to do that again. This time though, I'm going to right hand click on here and I'm going to go into this implementation. I'm going to hit this like this. We're going to go back into here, undo that breakpoint because we no longer need it. We're just going to hit play. We'll hit this particular line. Sweet. Let's go forward one. So that's fine. Result equals get single search object. All right. So this is Kanban. I think it's probably in this line. Let's find out. Let's just go forward. Yeah, it is. It is that one line because we've gone to here. No problem. We jump back into here. We're like, all right, sweet. We're going to do exactly what we did before. Oh, and look at that. The definition's right down here. So I'm just going to hit that, and I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to redo that. We should hit that one little tiny thing. All right, cool. If object name not in, self.object setup. So I'm going to expand this. And we have Kanban board, but we don't have Kanban. All right, so that's the problem right now. Now, why do we have Kanban instead of Kanban board? I'm gonna need to actually find out why. Because in reality, we should have Kanban underscore board. So if we go into here, we've got this search data objects form. If I go into this implementation, we've got array of objects, destination page. If I go back into here, go into request. So array of objects, we've just got as Kanban. Now I've got one or two fixes here. One, we can go back and fix it up for this particular case. The other option is we can enable the Kanban in the function itself, which I'm kind of leaning on. And the reason why is it's a quick and easy fix, but also I don't know where else I'm going to be using Kanban and Kanban board. So I'd rather use a fix like this to make sure I don't go through all the code and stuff like that. Now, these particular endpoints will be deprecated in 0.32. So what we'll do is we'll have a API which will be handling all of this, and we'll have to set in stone what that API wants, stuff like that. So we'll be redesigning a lot of these. So that's also another reason why I want to do this, is because if I do it very, very quickly, it's going to fix it for everything, and we're going to actually imply a better fix later. So going in here, we're going to find that breakpoint. We need to find this particular thing, so we're going to go to that implementation up here. We're going to copy these. So that should be 9. We're just going to paste it. And we're just going to have it like that. And that should work. So now if we go on to 2, so I'm just going to refresh the page. Just going to hit play. I'm just going to unbreak point that. I'm going to refresh the page. Now if we hit 2, ooh. Cannot resolve Kanban ID into field. Alright. Looks like I do actually have to fix it at the source, not a problem. So, what I want to do, delete that. Alright. I was wrong, but this is why we do what we do. So, I'm going to find this. This would be for under search objects. Kanban, alright. That's the problem. Okay. And happy Yasha, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. I'm hoping you've had a good time. And Nocturnal, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Alright, what am I looking for? I am looking for array of objects. Search include object, array of objects, and then row. Search arguments. Array of objects. Alright. I think this is going to be a backend sort of thing. Where I go into here, form, search objects, we go into this implementation, we go, alright, cool, get search objects, we go into that implementation. Alright, we're going to have to if object name equals Kanban, object name equals Kanban board. Alright, Yeah, thank you. Happy. You're right on a go slow this morning. Oh, fair enough. I'm on a go slow this evening. I've finally defeated the fog. And I'm definitely on the mend right now. So, yeah. Alright, I'm just going to hit refresh. It's no longer erroring out, but we're not getting page 2 data, which is annoying. Why is that? Alright, I'm just wondering if this is affecting any other things. So I'm going to create a couple of new projects. Yeah, slowly getting better. Hold on. This is a simple problem to fix. Let me just jump over to here. Sites NearBeach. Source. VM bin activate. Python 3 manage migrate. It's because we changed a couple of the columns around and so forth like that. I haven't actually done it on here. Easy fix. Oh wait, we've now migrated away. Yeah, alright. Not a problem. We're just gonna delete the database. We're gonna migrate everything in. We're gonna load the data. And we're gonna load this in. Okay, I'm just gonna refresh the page. Yeah, we'll need to. I've logged in as light user. I'm gonna create a couple new projects. Sorry, this will take a little while because they're going to create 5 of them. We want to replicate this bug. Alright, getting there. Alright, we're just going to hit search. We should have multiple projects open now. That's what we wanted. Now, I was just wondering if the database was doing something different and something wasn't working for the Kanban boards. We're going to double check that with the Kanban boards. We're just going to go Kanban board 1. Kanban board 2. Board 3. Board 4. Kanban board 5. All right, we're going to hit search. Right. So this is a bit of an issue. And I'm wondering what's happening. Because we do get the results back. It works perfectly fine for up there. It just doesn't hit, and these are all the same sort of components. So it comes back as Kanban. I'm gonna have to close that. I'm gonna have to open up this. We're not in debug mode. All right, give me npm run watch. Sorry, this is gonna take 40 seconds to sort of compile and everything like that, but our plan of attack is to debug this on the front end to see if, hey, this is data being updated. Is this correct? So if we also go back into this page and we go into the network and we hit this, we've also seen the response, number of pages, current page is number 2, and we have only got 1 item in there. And yet that's not filling out what's on the board. And I think there's just a mismatch for the data somewhere. So we're going to hit reload. I'm going to go cancel. I'm doing a massive reload on the page. We should be able to see VueJS in a minute. Detected on this page. Alright, clicking on it. We've got search objects here. We're going to open it up. We're going to click on the search results down here. So we've got the search results, easy done. If we click on search results up here, we've got Kanban variables. Yep, we don't need any of that. All objects. We've got Kanban board. I think I just need to fix it in this source. All right, search results. We've got Kanban board. Yeah, and I'm sending back Kanban. All right, so I've screwed up. What I'm going to do is in the back end, I'm going to get rid of this. All right. Is your project built using JavaScript front-end framework like React or Vue, or are you rendering templates? Good question. So I'm actually using VueJS to render the front end and so forth like that. So what's meant to happen, I'll give an example using this projects. If you have a look, when I click on number 2 in the network, I get a response back being like projects, and it has the data in there, and then it also has some information here that actually updates in here. So if we minimize that and we go project, not the variables, sorry, the search results, and open that up, you'll notice that the projects change in there. So if I click on this again, notice how it changes all that. You also notice down here it changes the current page, so this is now on 1, and the project number of pages are 2. So it's all handled on VueJS. And I just send JSON to the front end. Yeah, so the parts that are rendered server side is pretty much the page. So if I right hand click here and view page source, so it's all the nav bar at the top, it's the footer at the bottom, and the app itself is just this. So the div ID app, and then we've actually got like the search objects in there and any toasts. So yeah, that's a bit of a hybrid approach, and the reason being is I kind of want most of these pages to be completely and utterly separate. So if you go from one page to another, it completely wipes your state. So yeah. All right, so what we want to do is we want to have a look at this. So when we click on this down here, it is doing something specific. So that's the page link. Yeah, that would be, and I'm trying to remember how this is all cobbled together. And it would be Kanban, get search results, Kanban variables. I'm just gonna hit reload for the page. We're gonna have a look at what I'm sending down to it. So we're just clicking on this last one. So destination is Kanban, that is incorrect. current page, destination. That's Kanban board. It's not Kanban, it's Kanban board. So we're just waiting a couple of seconds. We're going to hit reload. Boom. That was it. That was the problem all along. And now we can easily change this without any issues. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove static, git status. We should only have one change. Git add, git commit, bug fix, and we're just going to put in this, and copy this, we'll paste it in, and we're going to push it up onto our develop branch. That will now be ready for retesting, and because it's a critical, essentially it's a showstopper. We'll push that tonight and have another release tonight. So yeah. Alright, sorry, I'm getting distracted with my cube. I'm going to put that down. And Yash, yo, how are you going, Yash? Hopefully you're going well. What's up? Nothing much at the moment. I'm just recovering from being sick. So, yeah. But otherwise, I've been okay. Alright, I'm going to close all of these tabs. We won't need to compile anything at the moment. We're going to go back and start doing the API stuff. So, we are slowly getting through all of these. However, I'm focusing on, let's say, the projects and the Kanban board and the Kanban cards first, because I know they're being used the most. So, I'll focus on them, and then I'll slowly and do the other sections and stuff like that. You're good. I started learning into malware analysis skills. Ooh, nice. I have no clue on anything around that. So you know a lot more than I do already. So yeah. But I think I do believe it is very interesting. So yeah. Alright, Kanban card results, Kanban card object. So, if we actually have a look at the Kanban board API, you'll see things that I have changed just recently. I need to be in the proper branch. Alright, cool. Git branch, git checkout, feature, API improvements. Alright, I'm just going to do a sneaky git pull just in case. Oh, fair enough. How is it going so far? Anything interesting? Alright, so in here, you'll notice that I've copied over quite a lot of things, been like, alright, this is how we create, here's an example, and so forth like that. That top stuff is for Swagger, so when we sort of create the Swagger documentation, it actually reads the code and goes, alright, cool, these are the particular fields all connected up with this, and so forth like that, and presents something to the user. Do you know C++ or Rust? I know a little bit of C++, but it's been years since I've actually used it. So, I use C++ with the Qt frontend, with the Qt framework, would have been a bit more than 10 years ago now, when building sort of database applications and stuff like that when I worked in the university. Yeah. Alright, so, and Gigi Shika, I do apologize if I said your name incorrectly. I am terrible with new names. Yo, if you compare both, which one would you choose? All right, so you're not going to like the answer. I would try Rust because I haven't actually used it before, and I'm curious to see how it works compared to other languages and stuff like that. And that's the only reason why. has nothing to do with Rust benefits or this or that and so forth like that. It's just because I haven't used it before. So, yeah. All right. Let's get into localhost API version 0. We're going to go Kanban board. We're going to pick number 1. And we're going to pick Kanban cards. I haven't logged in. There it goes. So this will actually show all the Kanban cards that are with this particular board. As you see, we've got the Kanban ID, card ID, we've got the text, we've got the priority. So straight off the bat, we're going to put these into an object. So the priority, instead of having it as an ID, we're going to have it as Kanban priority, have a little object, and then I'll show you. It's just going to be easy if I show you. API version 0 project. Let's go project 1. So in here we have the project priority. We've got a value and a label. So we're going to do the exact same thing in here. And what's your opinion on data science as a career option? I was a data scientist a long time ago, a bit over 10 years ago. If you love problem solving and you love manipulating data and stuff like that, yeah, I highly recommend it. Especially if you love maths. So you'll be using a lot of either Python or R, so pandas or R. You'll be using a lot of SQL and a lot of Excel. And you'll find every single bug possible in Excel. Trust me, there's a lot of them. So yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, Rust is powerful for more powerful obfuscation and encryption for malwares, and doesn't crash or bugs like C++, and gives you memory safety. I mean, yeah, Rust sort of does stop you from doing silly stuff that you can do in C and C++. So yeah. What am I now? So I am a web developer, so a full stack web developer. Nothing against data science or anything like that. I essentially just had a career trajectory which started, I learned maths. This is going to be very, very short. I learned maths. Went into being a data scientist. That's a D, not a P. I then went into IT. Absolutely hated it. Was supporting a web application, was wondering why this web application stinks, so I learned web development and jumped into becoming a web developer. And that's where I am now. And yeah, so I'm full stack. I do everything from system administration all the way up to the front end. So yeah. Rust is your main weapon, fair enough. I don't know why do I hate data science a lot. Fair enough. It's, once again, actually no, I haven't even said this before. You might not like data science and stuff like that. It's a different type of problem solving, and that's perfectly fine. Do you consider data science needs kind of philosophical and critical thinking skill base? I don't know about philosophical, but definitely critical thinking, especially when it comes to the sort of data results and stuff like that. And also there's times where you think there is a correlation, but there isn't. Give me 2 seconds. Yes. Yep. Thank you. As for the philosophicalness of data science, yeah, I don't know. Even though math, it comes from philosophy and stuff like that. So yeah. They're using Python library like pandas, sense yeah, yep. Or R. There is R that's out there. All right, I will continue with this, but sorry, we've hit an ad break on Twitch, so I tend to do, don't worry about YouTube, you don't get ads whatsoever, but on Twitch we run ads every 30 minutes, so no one gets re-rolled ads. We tend to do this so no one misses out on any content.
but also, to point in fact, data scientists can use other languages like R. There's also MATLAB out there, and so forth like that. And depending what you're doing, you could use other sort of frameworks out there too. Not that I used anything outside of Python, Excel, and SQL, but we're talking, this is about 13 years ago, back in 2012, 2013, 2014. 2015 I was still at, but I switched into IT then. Yeah, I'm energetic right now, but there's nights where I'm exhausted. Yeah. There's times where I will be half asleep at this point. So yeah, but thank you very much. Anyway, we've got about 8 seconds left of the ads for Twitch, and then we'll jump back into it. We hated MATLAB at uni. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough, Yashar. Yeah. Once again, math isn't for everyone. So, that's fine. I love and enjoy maths, though. So, I'm going to close that. I kind of wish I knew still knew quite a lot of the math that I learned. I've got to actually refresh myself. It's been that long. But there's times I've used maths in my programming and stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, don't forget about R. Alright. R's also a big programming language for data scientists. Though I never used it. Alright, so this one we're happy with. And Australia. So if you can't tell by the accent, Australian. And that's fine. Alright, we're going over here. We've got the Kanban board. Oh yes, we're going to do this. So I'm going to put that off to the side. And we're going to start to do this. So yeah. Alright, so we've got the model view set. One thing straight off the bat, we need to limit the HTTP method. So we're just going to copy the HTTP method names in like this. So we're only going to get, post, put, and delete. So yeah. We've got the create. Now on the right, you can see I've done quite a lot with the create. I'm going to come back to the create. So the create's going to be the last thing I tackle. Just because there's a lot of stuff in here that I want to... Yeah, I just need to do stuff with it. I need to fix the serializers and all that kind of stuff. So with the destroy... The good thing is 137, 150, so 13. We're just going to copy those 13 lines. We're just going to go over here. We're just going to paste these. We are going to do that because it just does that for some strange reason. Oh, I need to import this. Import. Okay. Cool. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Should be 12 lines. I miscounted then. Alright. So, description. Delete the Kanban card. No, it's usable app dev. Alright, cool. This is pretty easy. So, we've got the check permissions. So, this is now on this sort of case. Ooh, users will need to have permission to delete. Alright, yep. We better make a note of this. This entails having the ability to edit a Kanban board. That's all they need. Alright, most of this is pretty stock standard. We're not going to change that. Now, the list. The list is also something else. So 60 to, all right, so that's going to be 12. And then we just go like this. And delete that. All right, cool. So list all Kanban cards within the
Strawberry. Thank you.
List all Kanban cards within the Kanban board. All right, notes, pagination. All right, we are not going to paginate this at all. And the reason being is we're kind of expecting all the results to come back for this. We don't want to program the front end to grab 10, then grab the next 10, and then grab the next 10, and then the next 10, and so forth like that. We're just going to go, all right, cool, we're on this board, we need every single card possible. So yeah, this will send it all back, and we'll be like, sweet. So that's why I'm removing the pagination from here. We've got the def list, Kanban cards. We're all happy with this. This is pretty stock standard stuff. We're just not doing the pagination. And then the next one is, this is 99 to 207. That's 8. Retrieves a single Kanban card. Easy done. Not a problem. This is just in case you want to actually just receive one particular bit of information. Alright, so query set, we're all happy with that. That's gonna be pretty stock standard. Oh, we don't have update on that particular one. Alright, sorry, I just realized a mistake I made. So we'll have that, but we won't have put. Okay, cool. So we've got the update. I am going to reference the project one. All right, cool. All right, extended schema. Ooh, that's another thing we need to actually do. All right, so 6, 9, so 1, 7, so 21. All right. So we'll have the description updates a single Kanban card. We'll have parameters and all that kind of stuff. We'll go through and update this in a minute to make sure, yeah, that this is all correct. So, and we've got the check user API, all that kind of information. All right. Oh, sorry. A lot of this will actually be moving into the back, into the serializer too. As it no longer needs to belong out here, we can handle it in the serializers. So with the create, I'm also going to copy the create. So that's 24 from 85 is 61. All right, cool. Oh. All right. So that's all of that. All right. All right. So I'm just going to have a look at the other ones first. I'm just going to close this. So we've got the destroy. We said the destroy was fine. We've got the list. The list is fine. We've got the retrieve. The retrieve is fine. Let's handle the update first. So in our serializers, we need to open up the Kanban card serializer. And we've got we've got the def create, and then we're going to return validated data straight away. And mcdev, yes, I'm at it again. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. And then what we got is we've got the updated, and we're just going to return validated instance, like so. And what I want to do is I want to hijack these particular fields to actually sort of do what we want to do. And yeah. All right, give me a couple of seconds. You're going well, just working on a Minecraft clone as per usual. Oh, nice. How is it going? What, out of curiosity, what language are you using? Alright, so with the create, I am going to put that Kanban ID off to the side. We actually want the update. Sorry, with the update, what we want to do is we want to hit bump down there. So we've got the serializer where we're passing through the data. We're checking the serializer. Alright, cool. Then what we're doing is we've got the update Kanban card. So we actually want to do here is we want to have like this, and we got serializer.update. And then I'm just going to pass through actually I'm going to pass through user this time. And I'm going to go request.user. Actually, it's going to be change user. Like that. Alright, so in here, and I don't know how to pronounce your name. Hazon. I do apologize at trying to pronounce your name. Welcome. What is the project for? So NearBeach is an open source project management system. It's designed to help you guys manage your own projects. So yeah, currently we're working on the API of it. So we're slowly migrating away from what we had in our system to actually having a more open API, so people can start writing in third-party stuff for it. So yeah, and thank you very much for the follow, 346388A for the follow. Using TypeScript and 3JS because I cannot be bothered with creating more buffer utilities. Oh, fair enough. I once used 3JS along quite a few years ago. I had fun with it. Didn't create much though. So yeah. The name is pronounced Chloro. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's very hard for me to pronounce. I do apologize. So yeah. All right, getting back into this with the update. What we wanted to do is we've got the Kanban card. If the Kanban card is none or length of that, then we don't actually have a Kanban card to update, and that is correct. And I'm just wondering how we tackled that elsewhere. Just learning HTML, but watching just to see what's ahead. Fair enough. There's a lot ahead, and you can go whatever direction you want. So, yeah. And Zeke Live. Hey, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome. So, update Kanban. Yeah, that's just setting that to that. Alright, so alright, we've got quite a lot to do. A lot of this will be copied and pasted over. Good, making my own programming language. Oh, fair enough. That sounds quite difficult. So, yeah. And hello, Akpi. If I pronounce your name correctly, I'm terrible at pronouncing your names and stuff like that. I do apologize. Alright, so a lot of what's on the right will go into the left when we're updating stuff. Now, oh yeah, we've got that and that. CSM 101. Yeah, I would struggle. Writing and interpret it in Go is pretty good. The book, I mean. Oh, yep. All right, cool. It's somehow easy. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I just haven't sat down and learned how to write my own language. So yeah. I use Spring Boot for Quarkus with Kotlin Java for backend and my TypeScript JavaScript for front. Fair enough. I use Python for handling backup in those services and more small but complex stuff. Oh, nice. Sounds like a lot of fun. So yeah. All right. Now I remember why this is set up like this. This is a check, and I'm going to keep it in. The idea being is we're making sure that the Kanban card and the board match up. So if someone has mucked up a number or something like that, it doesn't make a change to a card on a different board. Using C++ to write it? Oh, fair enough. So yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Update Kanban board. Alright. Hang on, give me just X. You can watch TV. Alright. Excuse me, I've just gotten my dinner. Give me a couple of seconds. You guys don't need to see me eat. So I am going to and then where's my webcam? All right, there we go. Okay. So that's for checking. I'm keeping the checks out here for the moment. I might move them into the serializer, but at the moment, leaving them out here. So this will actually go after the check. Yeah. She came home like that one day. It was a lot of spider webs. So yeah. Okay. So this is double checking everything. And we're happy with that. So then we go into here. Now, I'm going to put a breakpoint here. I'm going to see what actually happens. Trying to remember what happens. Or I can look at my prior code. Where's my project serializer? So on the project serializer, with the update, got project status ID, all of that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, we don't need to do any of that because we've got the instance. All right. Ignore that. So we have the instance. We don't need to worry about this. We still need to double check everything. I still need to do this. So that's just flat packing the data, and that's just me saying, instead of having to do this every single time, yeah, I'm just doing that. So pulling out the new column and new level. We're doing a check. Oh, all right. There's actually quite a lot of steps into this. So this is a check to make sure that we got the right, essentially the right board and card ID. So with a card ID, you've got a field in there that's connected to a board. So if you pass through a card ID, you'll need to pass through the board ID to be like, all right, cool, it's this particular card. This is what this check's for. Then down here, we've got a similar sort of thing actually happening with the new column and the new level. Making sure that they're the same. And then this all depends on a bunch of other stuff. I'm just going to cut all this. As when we go into here, essentially, it'll be like in here like this. And we just need to fix it up. Now, I don't know if we have these fail checks, if these will return what we want. So I'll need to test that. But that shouldn't be a problem. And then what we have here is the update card. I mean, if those checks were done like that, we could probably throw that in the check too. Like that, but all right. Sorry, I'm eating my food. Okay, so I'll need to import, and I don't have access to the quags or anything like that. All right, no, that was a bad mistake. So I'm going to go back into here and put them back into here. Easy done. As for the quags, we need the Kanban board ID passing through. We can easily do that. By doing this, Kanban board ID equals quags Kanban board ID. And we just need to do this just so it's readable. No, those arguments should be there. All right, I'm going to open up the projects once again because I keep closing, not the serializers, but the project API. There we go. All right, we're going down here. So project serializer, all right, no, update project, so serializer update. Yep, all right, cool. That's fine. Oh, all right. I'm not doing this correctly. So we've got to find an instance, and I'm having a look at this. I'm doing this properly. So we've got the project status ID, validate, wrong one. We're looking at the API. So we've got the serializer, we've got the project serializer passing through, everything like that. Update project equals project object, that. Easy done. So we're going to do the same thing. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a 404 equivalent. In this sort of case, we're only checking the one thing. Hopefully we're not getting a 404. I'm just wondering if we've got to do something like this. Because we don't want to update is deleted ones either. All right, so I'm just having a big think at the moment. What we've got is a query set up here, retrieval, we've got all objects.all. In this sort of case, that's actually incorrect. Sorry, I've just discovered a bug. That should be objects.filter is deleted equals false. And then that way, if someone's retrieving something that's been deleted, they get a 404 or anything like that. However, that being said, I kind of want these. And I'm just going down here, and I'm just going to paste these in. Paste these in. We then just need to change this to update project. We no longer need that. That will be the same sort of thing. And I think we've got to do that for the Kanban cards. So yeah, let's do that. So I'm just struggling with my noodles.
Is that already? This is what already. I don't need everything.
No. Thank you. All right. So, going with the Kanban card API, we're going to do the exact same thing here. So, we will probably need to. We're just going to not do that. What we're going to do is. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is I'm going to put this over here so I can reference it. We're going back to the Kanban card. Thank you. Thank you. We've got the update. We've just hit an ad break. All right. I'm just gonna hide my food. I'm hoping everyone's going well. For those on YouTube wondering what's happening, we have ads on Twitch. Don't worry, you don't get ads. And what we do is we do this so no one misses out. Yeah. Hopefully everyone's going well tonight. I heard that there's some roadie. I'm going to be right back. So I am going to share socks in her bed. There we go. I will be right back. Good girl socks. Don't eat my food. I got some roadie. All right, where are we without ad break? Where are we without ad break? All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going back into the workstation. However, I might just, because Socks is now there. Let's put on the webcam. There we go. All right. She can keep everyone entertained as I eat my food. We're going to go back into here. We're going to replace all of this. So this is no longer needed. And what we're doing is we're just going to go through. We go query set equals Kanban card dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. And at the same time, what we're doing is we're passing through the Kanban board ID equals quargs and Kanban board ID. Easy done. All right. So that's our query set. Oh, sorry. And then we need the update Kanban card equals the get object or 404. And then we just pass the query set and we just go pk equals pk. And then if that doesn't match, we'll be like, hey, we can't find this particular Kanban code. Very similar to how we were doing it before. Now, with the validated data, we should be passing through everything that's validated that we were doing before. So we go into here, we've got the validated column IDs. I just realized we're not probably doing the column IDs. There's a lot of stuff in here that we're not currently doing. So what I'm going to do is I am going to scream internally because I hate that bug. I'm just going to do that. All right, and I'm going to put that there. We're just going to see what actually happens. Yeah, that's all. It's not going to do much. If we go over to here, we minimize this, we minimize this. We've got the Kanban card, we've got team leader, we've got the post for a new one, and we've got the put for one that already exists. I'm just going to use the put. All right. Oh, all right. We need to set up everything in here. That is annoying as hell. So Kanban card. What we've got is card text. I will be spending 0.32 fixing up a lot of these. Priority, we're just going to say is a normal number 2. Card description. Easy done. The column ID. Ooh. I'm going to need more information around these. No problem. What we want to do is we want to jump into the front end. So I am just going to bump open up Dark Admin. We're going to log in. Cool. We're going to list of objects. Include all groups. We've got the Kanban 2. We're going to open up this. We're going to... Oh, we don't have... Alright, no problem. We add the Kanban board. ID 6. And then Kanban level ID is a 3. And we're grabbing this from the information set on here. We purposely pass that information to the front end. So when we move something around, the front end can go, oh, okay, cool, this is the data. Sorry, I shoved my mouth full of salad then. All right, cool. So in here, we've got the QA team card. That should match. If we go back, we've got, there we go, QA team card. We've got validated data. If we open it up, we don't have Kanban board information in here. And what we could do is we can do something like that. Now, it's complaining about it, but if I go up to the front end and then I'm like Quags Kanban board ID, I don't know if it'll complain anymore. Only one way to find out. Oh, alright, it didn't. And we should have that coming through as a 2. Yep. Sweet. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to hit this, and I'm just going to go... Actually, I'm going to cancel all of that out. All right. Now, it is complaining about this. And I'm just thinking what I could do. There's 2 things I can do. One, I can put this back to normal. Like this. There'll be no more complaints. 2, I can double check these particular checks are done in the prior thing at the start. And then we just assume they're correct in here. Which is not a bad thing. I kind of like that. It might be easier to do that. Have these particular checks up there, and then I think the rest will be fine. So, I keep dropping my chopsticks. Sorry, I'm getting there with the eating. Okay. So, what I want to do is I want to cut this out. I'm just going to cut. We go back into here. We're going to do some data checking first. I'm going to paste that in. And then we're going to go update the Kanban card. All right? Happy with that. Going in here, we're just going to undo that. This will actually be, let's get rid of that. We do that. New column, new level. It checks all that. We're happy with that. Those are just some quick checks. If it passes those checks, we're going to update. All right. So next thing to do is I'm eating some of this roti. Is we're going to do all of this. All right. This is pretty easy to do. We're just updating these particular fields. So this is part of the instance. All right. He's done. Ooh, we don't have new column and old column. That's something easy to get. I'm just eating some more. Actually, let's get new and old. And then we're going to go new column equals validated data. And that will be the column, Kanban column. There'll be this data here. Except we won't need serializers. It's done. We just need validated data. Okay. All right. I'm just cleaning up everything. I do apologize. We've got all the column data now. We're going through this max. We need to import as a Django. Yeah, we need to import that. That's pretty easy. And then all of these be just instance. Easy done. All of these will also be instance. Now, we don't need the say because we need to do a super function in here. We'll do that in a minute. I just need to also clean up this a little bit more. And then going to this one, it is actually just this. We just copy this. So I'm just going to copy those 3 lines. Yeah. We paste those 3 in, get rid of that one. And that's it. So, hang on a minute. I know I'm missing something else. Where's my project API? I'm just bringing back my project API. I'm just having a look. So we're going through that, and then we go through that, and then it goes into here. Oh yeah, everything handles into here. Yep, alright, cool. Now I don't need to... I probably need to pop out a few things, because that validated data does not need to head down further. In which case, if I need to do that, I can easily do that. That won't be a problem. That's just me doing it in here. Actually, that's the update. Yep. And then we got the update card, and then we go the serializer equals the project. No, not project, sorry, Kanban card serializer. And then we just go the update Kanban card many equals false. And that's it. Reserialize everything. And then we got a return response. Okay. So this is get the Kanban card. And Theodore, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. How are you going, Theodore? Alright. Oh yeah, I don't need this one line in here anymore because we handle all the checks out here. Better to handle the checks out here than in here. Oh, yep. We've only got the cat cam on because I was eating. But yes. This is Socks. She likes to join stream constantly. And there is a viewer reward or, points reward to give her treats. So, yeah, I think it's set at 500. So, yeah. Excuse me eating. Alright, so this is all done. With the Kanban card serializer. Let's actually try it out. So we've got this now. And another thing I got to do is the priority I need to break apart in a second. So yeah, I'm just going to hit send. We'll get a couple of things. Cannot assign 6 to Kanban card column. Must be a Kanban column instance. Now... Alright. Hang on. So we got the update. Sort number. There's that. Alright. I'm just going to put a breakpoint here. And I'm going to hit send again. So we've got our data in here. So we've got the instance, the old level, and the new level. Okay, so new column. Yeah, they're definitely not going to equal, are they? Alright, I've done something here that it doesn't like. Alright, validated data. I'm just hovering over validated data. Let's get our return dictionary open. In here, what we've got is we've got the Kanban column ID. Those are integers. And we've got the old... Alright. Not a problem. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I am just going to... because I'm getting a bit tired, I am going to lower my desk. Alright, So, what I've got to do to fix this is I've got to have a couple of the IDs in the correct spot. And then I'm going to ignore handling this at this particular level. What are you hitting on? Thought so. Alright, so with the old column, what we're going to do is we know that these are... We can expand that open and we can go with the column ID, we can go PK. So old column ID, so we can go, I think we can just go PK. And that will be fine. Then we've got the sort number, aggregate, Kanban sort number. So if the numbers don't equal the same, we get the maximum out of here. If sort order equals none, sort order, yep, all right, else sort order plus 1, yep. We don't need to deal with these here. And then we've got the instant sort number. We don't need to deal with this, or this at all, because we're only dealing with this data here. All right, I'm going to hit play. We're going to send it again. So we've hit the breakpoint. This goes down here, and then it should just play through, and then boom. All right, we get everything we want. Easy. Not a problem at all. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to fix up. So, hey there, Socks. I want to go back into here. I want to actually replicate changing something. So, I want to go localhost admin. I want to go Kanban. Let's go levels. Actually, I should be doing this at the front end. Sorry. And then I jump onto this. Let's go 4. So we're moving it to level 4. So we hit this. Now this should be different. This now gets the sort number. So it should have changed the sort number to 0, which is good. And then we hit play, and it should all work. We get all that data. We should also see when we go back into here, this is now down here. All right, sweet. So that worked a treat. We will need to do more testing with this. What I need to actually do is I need to actually build myself up a Kanban board and then move the items around using the API, which is not too hard. What you do is you just take a number of the like the IDs for the levels and the columns, and then you just go, all right, cool. When I'm doing this, I'm moving this from here to here and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah. And then you just pick a cut to move around the board easily. So we've got this working, and the best thing is we've dramatically dropped the code. So there's less code written, which is even better. All right. This is a lot smaller. We still have our checks in place, but they're there purposely. And then we still get this back. So now I want to tackle the priority. So much like the priority for the list project. So if I go like this again, we've got the project status, the project priority. Yeah, we've got it like that. In here, we've got Kanban card priority. Not a problem. So with the serializer, I'm just scrolling up to the top, and you'll see up here, we've got a project priority enum in there. And we're like, all right, that's kind of cool. And then we've got enum object priority. All right, cool. We're going to do the exact same, but we've got to do it on both. I think I've already done it on the model. We've just got to do it on the serializer. So I'm just going to copy this. We're going to go to the Kanban serializer. We're going to scroll all the way up. We have a Kanban card priority, and we're just going to go boop, like this. And we are just getting rid of all of this. We don't need this. We need just enum field, enum equals object priority. Now we need to import enum, which is part of our serializers already. So we're just going to import that. And I'm pretty sure I'm already importing that up there. Easy done. So those are the two fields we're importing. And that should just famously work. So if I go ahead and I go into here, Kanban cards. I should hit refresh. We should see the priority now is split into 2. If we go over here and we just hit send, we've got a problem. Kanban card priority expected a number but got a value. All right, so we're just going to fix that. Not a problem. Very easy to fix. So if we have a look at the project serializer and we go down into the update, we've got project, yeah, we just pop it out and then we do something like that. So we're going to do that. So we need this with the update. So we've got the serializer. Wrong one. I'm meant to be under the serializers itself. So we've got all of that. We check all the new cards. All right, I'm happy with that. And then we just do priority at the bottom. And instead of project priority, this is going to be called Kanban card priority. And then we just do this over here. Like that. And then we usually do it down here. Done. Easy. All right. So waiting a couple of seconds, we're just going to hit the send. Boom. We've just updated the card. And the best thing is if I change the priority in here, let's say, so at the moment, if we have a look at the board, I go refresh. It's a normal. All right. It's normal. If I go into here and I'm like, no, this is going to be the highest priority possible, and we go send, it should just update, and we go back over here, we're going to hit refresh, boom. It's the highest one now. That was that easy. So, having a look at the data, I'm just going to hit refresh up here. We now got the priority, we're all happy with that. Card description, yeah, that's fine. The column ID and column name, I kind of want to put those into objects too. So we'll have Kanban level. I'll show you what I mean. So in here we've got project status. We've got the status ID and the project status. That's how I want it shown. So we're going to do the exact same thing here with the levels. And we're going to make sure that if a user keys in like an ID or something like that, it'll still work. Oh, ad break in progress. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. All right. Sorry, I was getting very excited. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch, so people don't get preloaded ads. That's when you join a channel and you just get ads straight away. It sucks. So yeah, don't worry, you guys don't get ads, and essentially we just pause stream whilst people are getting ads. So yeah, you get to see Socks for a little bit. She does help out every now and then, like standing on my keyboard and mouse. So yeah. Alright. Almost done this particular cube. Alright. How are we with the ads? About 6 seconds left. Yeah. Alright, welcome back everyone. Okay, let's jump back straight into it. So, what we're going to do with the project serializers, if we scroll all the way up, you'll notice that with the project status, we've got the project status serializer. And we have many is false, read only is false, and allowed null is false. So we're going to do the exact same thing. So yeah, that will be for the level. Yep. All right, cool. Socks is no longer in her bed. We'll just do this. Welcome back. She's like smelling all the stuff. All right, so that will be for let's go from the top. Kanban column first. Famous last words. I'm going to screw this up. Okay, so going up here, we'll have Kanban column ID and Kanban column. We'll just get rid of them. What we'll have is Kanban column equals, and then we'll have a serializer. But at the moment, we need to create that serializer. So we've got to go over here. We're going to go, we do have a Kanban column serializer. So we're going to do that. We're going to go Kanban, oh. Now, it's going to have a problem. It's going to be like, yo, are you missing me? Yeah, I'm just going to add you in. So very much like the project serializers, we're just going to yank these 3 lines because it's going to be the same sort of property like that. And then we've got to do the same thing with level ID. So we'll have Kanban level equals Kanban level serializer. Oops. That, and then we just gotta wait for that to come in. We just sit like, and easy done. All right, so we've got those in now. Now it's not going to be a problem. If we go back over here and hit refresh, cannot both declare the field Kanban column includes Kanban card serializer exclude option. All right, hang on. We're gonna go down here. Oh, yes, we've got the exclude. Okay, so I'm just going to do that for a moment because we actually want to have the fields in there. And the reason being is we kind of want to set the order of the fields at the same time. So I'm just going to go over here. The put request is fine. That can save. Let's list the projects. Actually, I'm going to do this first. And we're going to do that. We're going to wait a little while. We're going to hit enter. Alright, so we can see all the properties in here now. I'm just going to select all of them. Actually, no, it's going to be annoying if I do it like that. Alright. We're just going to put them in Kanban card text. Kanban card description. We'll have the... We'll have the priority first. Then Kanban card column, Kanban card level, and then Kanban card priority. Oh, sort order will be in there. Sorry, sort order. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. And it's Kanban card sort number. It's Kanban card sort number. Alright, so ID, text, priority, description, column, level, sort number. We've got then tags. Then date created, which I'll have above the rest. And then this is project requirement task. Is it meant to be requirement item? No, requirement. And then what I want to do is I just want to get rid of that. Now, the reason why I'm doing the fields, even though there's a lot more code in here, is because I can order these. That's it. That's the reason why. And then when I hit refresh, did I forget Kanban level? Ah. There you go. Yeah, these will be Kanban columns and level. All right. So that's how we want it. Now, if we go over here and we do another put, they want Kanban column. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to paste this in here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into here too. Now, I know this instantly changes the code. So we're just going to go back into here. We go through the Kanban API view first with the update. We go through the serializer. Yep, the query set. Yep. So we've got the board ID. Yep, that's fine. It's these that will change. Because we no longer have ID to work with. We only have that. And that should work for the rest of that. And then in here, we kill out all of that code. Once again, we're shortening the code. We're scrolling down to the update and we're getting rid of the IDs here. And then that should be it. Yeah, that should be it. All right, cool. Let's hit send. We do have a Kanban column. And we do have a Kanban level. All right, something wrong has happened. All right, with the project, now we are removing that when it's a post, but not when it's a put. When it's a put, all right, cool. Oop. I was meant to do copy. So when it's a put, we're changing the, we're just adding a serializer to it. Okay, so Kanban card serializer, get tags. This will be get fields. All right. I'm just gonna, I'll tell you what. Give me a couple of seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this. We're going to go into here. I'm just going to go paste. We're going to delete that. We've got the def. We've got the fields equals that. All right. Is request. Yep. All right. Sweet. And then we don't need to worry about the post at the moment, but we're going to comment it out. But what we do is updating the Kanban card. So group list, we don't need organization, we don't need. What we have here is we'll have the Kanban column equal serializers that, and this will be Kanban column where the object is deleted and the, I don't have access to the Kanban board ID here. Do I? I actually do. Actually, I don't. I just have access to the request. All right, what I'm doing, I'm going to put a breakpoint there. This is fine for the moment. If we go send, we should hit that breakpoint right here. I'm just having a look at the context. I'm going to open up the context because we'll have a request in here. I don't think we've got quarks. We have a post. But that doesn't have the quarks in it. Yeah, this doesn't have quarks in it, and that's fine. Could be one of those things where I get to limit the data here, and then it'll work with the validation. But this is fine. No. Content type. Oh, sorry. Data. We've got data. We don't have board ID at all in there. And something I'm not going to pass through. Yep. No, that's fine. Having it like that is perfectly fine. All right. I'm going to hit play knowing for fact I'm going to do that too. Hitting play knowing for fact that it's going to... None type object has no type items. All right, not a problem. We're just going to go back into here. We're going to go Kanban column, and then we're going to go fields, Kanban level equals serializers dot primary related field, and then we're going to go query set equals Kanban level dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. That automatically removes stuff we don't need. And then what we need to do is thank you, then backspace, thank you, return fields. All right, we'll come back to edit this one. That's not a problem. So if I go send, we've now got cannot assign 6. Kanban card column must be a Kanban column instance. Where is this? All right, not a problem. What we want to do is with the update method, I want to put that down here. I want to test to see if it hits this. All right, it does. And then if I step over it, that's where the issue is. If I do that again, send, we've got the instance, we've got validated data. We're gonna have a look at the validated data. So we've got the Kanban column and Kanban level. All right. What I want to do all right, I want to get this all fixed. Is what did I do with the project? So with the project serializer, I've got this with the post. With the organizations, we do it like that. So organizations, objects, filter. All right, cool. Yeah, we're doing the level the same way. Project underscore status equals serializer dot primary related key field. I mean, that should all be the same. Yeah. And then if if I go into, this is going to take, I'm just going to hit play. It's going to be like, ba-bam. So this is project status. If we scroll all the way up to project status, which is here, we are using a serializer, many files, read-only files, allowed null files. That's what we've got to. With the update, yeah, we're just going through. Oh, all right. We actually do that. Okay, not a problem. We're going to do that too. So with the priority, it didn't work. Sorry, with the Kanban column, we're going to have Kanban column equals validated data.pop. We're going to have Kanban column, and default is going to be, oh, I'm going to go 0. No, it will pop because we've double checked it. We don't need to do anything else. Then we need instance.kanban column ID equals Kanban column. Is done. Kanban level equals validated data.pop, and then we have Kanban level. We'll just have instance.kanban level ID equals Kanban level. Now, in reality, I could do this all in one line, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a lot easier if I do. So we're just going to go validated.pop Kanban column. He's done. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Validated data.pop Kanban level. All right. I'm going to hit send. We're going to hit this. Oh, I'm just going to hit play. There we go. Done. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, I'm happy with all of that. Let's jump back onto this. Let's hit reload. So, we've got the priority done how we want it. We've got the column done how we want it. We've got the level done how we want it. That gives the user a lot more information too. For example, they can see the ID, they can see the name, and so forth like that. The tags are perfect. I don't need to touch the tags. And I'm going to say, yes, this is done. In the sense that we've done the update. However, we now need to do the description. So update a single Kanban card under the Kanban board. He's done. So parameters. This is where we go over into this one, and we go Kanban card text. The Kanban cards title. Once again, when we go through the database changes and stuff like that and rename a lot of these fields, all of this will become very generic. Kanban card priority. And then that's the priority of the Kanban card. And then what we want to do is we just want to yank this. So I'm just going to yank those 5 things, and we're just going to call it a day. All right, cool. The next thing is Kanban card description. I'm going to put this up here. The description of the Kanban card, optional really. So we've got the priority, description, Kanban column, and Kanban level. The ID of the Kanban column you would like the card to be moved to. and then Kanban level, the ID of the Kanban level you would like the card to be moved to. And then what we want is, we want a notes sort of section. I'm just having a look at the... I'm gonna yank that. So, with the notes, we're just gonna go both the column / level IDs will need to exist under the current Kanban board, or an error will occur, because we are checking for these particular errors. All right, cool. So that's the update done. So I'm happy with that. We've now just got the create to do, which is going to be a bit of work. All right, cool. So we're flat packing all of that, which is fine. We've got the Kanban board instance 404. All right, we're happy with that. Because we always want to do that. You shouldn't be able to make a card for anything that has been deleted. Alright, so I'm going to probably sneeze. Give me 2 secs. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got the Kanban board instance, get 404. We're all happy with all of that. Okay, so just having a little think. Of how I want to tackle this one little section. Because yeah, I want to get the Kanban cards done and I want to send this out tonight. That will bring that to that, which means I've done 1/7 of everything. Okay, cool. That's checking if the column and the board exist. And once again, we could probably put this in the serializer if we had access to the quags. We don't actually have access to the quags and the serializer, which is perfectly fine. So that's why we're checking it here. All right. So sort number. That can move into the new section. All of this can move into the new section. Okay, cool. So we've got the column instance, level instance, and priority instance. Priority instance we won't need. Yeah, we are sending... Alright, cool. Priority instance we won't need. I'm going to put this over there. I am going to go over here. We're going to delete stuff we don't need. Alright, cool. Actually, no, not cool, because I might need some of this stuff. Alright, class, All right, create. Cool. So over here, Flatpak checks. So that checks the board instance. Make sure it exists. Checks the column instance. Make sure it exists. I feel like I'm doing that better now. Let me check with the update. Hold on. We have to create. Kanban board instance, that's what we need to check. What am I doing here? All right, we're creating a Kanban card. All right, sorry, I'm thinking of a board for some strange reason. All right, no, we need these checks in. So we check the board, we check the column, and we check the level. Exists. Now, down in with the update. Update. So with serializer, we check the board exists. And then we check the column and the level. Also have the same sort of thing. And I think that is probably better. All right, I'm just going to copy that code. Because sometimes when you write code, you actually end up writing something a little bit better. And then you come back to this old code and you're like, oh, I can probably make this a little bit better. All right, in this sort of case, we don't want to get the Kanban card. We want to get the Kanban board. Is query set. And then the board ID. So Kanban column, Kanban board instance. All right, that one's probably a little bit better. These are on hang on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and then we paste it like that, and we do this. So, we've got the Kanban board instance, we make sure that we've got the Kanban board. Alright, we're happy with that. And then we've got the new column, just pulls out the Kanban column and the Kanban level. And then we make sure it matches up with the Kanban board ID, which we're happy with. And then this one, now... yeah, we no longer will be using Kanban column and Kanban ID. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I just missed an ad break. I do apologize for those on Twitch. I just didn't see it pop up. That's my bad. All right, so we're no longer doing this. And... because, yeah, we've got a better solution. What we do is we look at the instance, make sure that the Kanban board IDs match up, and yeah, that's a lot cleaner and nicer to do. And then we submit the Kanban card data. All right, cool. So we do need to get the sort number. So yeah, a lot of this will be going into the serializer. So we'll just move this over to here for the moment, and then in here we'll be like, all right, cool. We'll have, what are we calling it? We'll have it submit. Kanban card submit equals the serializer dot save, and then in here we'll have the instance, which will be we don't have the instance. Let's have a look at the project serializer. So the project serializer has in here a create. So if we have a look at the API and we'll go all the way up to create, scroll down, we've got the create, got the group list. So we've got create project, serializer save, and then we pass what we need through. So we pass change user equals request.user, and we pass creation user equals request.user. Now that's one other thing which I need to actually sort of do with the other one is I need to actually make sure that we are updated the change user and so forth like that. The reason being is we need to actually sort of track who made those changes last. So yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm just doing the queue very, very quickly. So we've got the Kanban card submit. Okay, so we just passed through. Yep, that Kanban card submit. We jump onto the serializers. I am going to have a look. So group list, we pop. Yeah, all right. We don't need the group list for this one. Structured data we need. Validated data. Project status. That's just putting in what we need. In this sort of case, sort number. So sort number. In fact, what we could do is we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is we can do that. Now, what a column and level? I don't remember. But that will be part of the validated data. So that will be validated data, and that will be Kanban column, and that will be validated data and Kanban level. Now these won't be formatted, so we need the IDs in there. That's easy done. So we just put in the IDs like that. And then we get the sort number. All right, sweet. So once we got the sort number, we can go instance. Yeah, all right, cool. Project serializer with the create. We've got that validated data first. So project to create validated data. Oh yeah, we just send through the validated data. So validated data. This will be Kanban sort number equals sort number. Easy done. And then it's I'm just pasting this in just for that. So create the Kanban card. That is just going to be the Kanban card equals Kanban card dot objects dot create, and that will be validated data passed through like that. We're going to get rid of that. We don't need to return validated data. That's actually going to be the Kanban card that we're returning. I'm just double checking. We won't need any of this now. All right, so get the Kanban card and send to the user. So that will be that. We won't need any of that. I'm just going to leave it as Kanban card like that. Reserialize the results and we should be fine. So that's the create process. Let's test it out. We actually have this, but we don't have any of the data. I'm just going to hit post. So we've got the Kanban card text. So we're just going to say created via the API. We have Kanban card description. I created this by the API. Smiley face. Priority, I'm going to go a 1. Kanban column. This is where I double check this by going back into here and going into the edit Kanban board. And then we've got the column. We're going to go with an ID of, actually let's make it blocked. Let's make it an ID 7. And then Kanban level. Let's make that a 3. And let's just send it. Kanban card text, we've got Kanban column. Alright, this is where we need to do the post sort of stuff. So if I hit send again, it should be the column and level. That's perfectly fine. We know this isn't going to work because we need to do this field stuff down here. Now, because it's going to be the exact same here, what we could do is we can just go, or actually we can just copy all of this, but I think an in is a lot nicer. So we won't need any of that. Kanban card got an unexpected keyword argument creation user. Now I'm wondering if that is because I put it here. Kanban board ID. Oh, alright. That's where I want to go. Kanban board ID equals quags Kanban board ID. Easy done. So we're going to hit save and boom, it has been apparently created. So we've got Kanban card ID 3. If we go back here, we should now see it on the board created via the API app. So created via the API. And the description, there we go. And all of this has just been created. And yeah, sweet. Cool. So we passed through the values we need. That's pretty easy to do. Alright, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. We now need to edit this. So create Kanban board. Now this is Kanban card. So create Kanban card against the Kanban board. So Kanban card. This is where we go through this. So once again, I'm going to go through the database in 032, and we are going to make all the field names generic, stuff like that. Yeah. I'm getting sick and tired of just having all the names just be a bit different. It is very annoying. All right. So, I've just mucked up the cube. There we go. So we've got the Kanban card, we've got the Kanban card description. Another thing is, all of this should be like that. Alright. Yep. So, parameters, Kanban card text, Kanban card description, the description for the Kanban card, the group list we're not worried about, the Kanban column and Kanban level. Then level. All right. This will be the column ID. This is where I'm literally just going to... Oh wait, let me hit escape. It's going to scroll down here. I'm just going to copy 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to copy these. Because in reality, they're exactly the same. We don't need that anymore. We do need the priority, which I should scroll all the way back down. I should have copied that also. And that's going to belong in there like that. So we've got that, and then, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And we can get rid of that. So I'm actually quite happy with this now. Now we can remove some of this code that is no longer needed. We've got all of this. The Kanban board instance. We don't need the Kanban board instance. We just need to do it like that. Going through all of that, yeah. Alright, so we should still be able to get some Kanban cards and all that kind of stuff. So if we go into here for number 1, there we go, easy done. If we go into number 2, perfect. If we clear all of this, yep, perfect. And then we got the cards and the levels and all that kind of stuff. Yep, and then we got the tags, and yeah, I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. And then what we want to do, get status, and then git add, everything, git commit. What we want to type in here is implement the improvements for the API against the Kanban cards. And then I'm just going to git push. I know this is going to break a test. I know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to run Python 3 manage test. And we're going to fix those tests at the moment. So there'll be tests. Essentially, it is breaking because we've changed how the API works. We need to reflect those changes within the unit tests. So it's that simple. All right, we have some failures. We've got the test API Kanban board. And I think that's the only failure. All right, we haven't written the API, the unit tests for the Kanban cards yet. So that will happen soon. But yeah, this one is breaking when we're doing this. The URL is with just the Kanban board. So it's the very first one. We're going to get everything. Now, is it the get we're doing? URL test, data, Kanban, swim lane 2, status, method, post. All right. I believe it's this one here. And yeah, we have drastically changed this. So, group list will stay the same. It's all of this that is changing. So one way to do it is we've actually got this data in here, which we can just copy. So I'm going to close the Kanban card. I'm going to open up the Kanban board. We've got the team leader. We're going to open up the post. And easy way to do this is just to copy and paste. Copy and paste. So I'm going to do this very, very quickly. And what I need to do is I need to do something like this. And then we just need to do the levels. Like so. Now, I don't know why this has been flagged. I don't know why. So that should be it, in theory. We're going to rerun the test. Yeah, pretty easy script to do. This is just a unit test. And all of these, what's in here is just the form data that's been sent back. And because I've got the form data set up in Postman, I just copy and paste. Pretty easy. Yeah. Alright, it still has a failure. We've got a 400 response. Alright. It's definitely not one because we definitely just changed it all. It's a pity it doesn't give me much information around that. You only do Lua scripting? Oh, fair enough. I've not played around with Lua yet. So one of these days. One of these days. Alright, we've got the URL test, we've got that, we've got this, we're hitting the back end. Alright, alright, cool. Self-run test data list. Now, I don't know why it's not liking all of that. Is it because backlog normal, yeah, in progress normal, blocked, review and QA normal, completed, closed, swim lane 1, swim lane 2. Yeah. Next you'll be learning task functions. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, do assert ray code. Yeah, we're getting 400. Which means it didn't like something in here. Now, another thing I could potentially do is, because this is... Oops. Because this is a JSON, I could continue with that JSON. So I could go Kanban column, and we just have another JSON. And then in here, oh, actually this won't be an object, this will be an array of objects. So we'll have an object like this, and it'll be called Kanban column name, and that will be backlog, and then Kanban column property, and that will be normal. And then after we've done that, we'll have one called Kanban level, which will also be an array of objects. And then in here, we'll just have the Kanban level name. I keep mishitting. And then we're going to have swim lane 1. I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. No real reason to extend that if that doesn't work. I'm just seeing if this works. Oh, I got an F. So yeah, it didn't like it. And I'm just wondering what it didn't like about it. Alright, Alright, this is Kanban board, data, API, we've got group list 2, group list, Kanban column. There's an array of all of that stuff, and then Kanban, yeah, alright, it's still the same one. I want to get this sorted before I push this. So... Okay, I'm going to do a if response dot status code. This will be a not response dot status code equals data dot status code in here. That should be double equals. Sorry, my bad. We're going to add in a breakpoint. I'm going to print the response. Alright, we're cheating here. We're going to test this out. We should hit this test pretty quickly. There we go. And then if I type in response, we'll get the code. And then this is where I remember... Kanban column, Kanban level. Am I just forgetting some fields? All right, let's scroll back down. Oh, have I broken this? Kanban column, Kanban level. Okay, let's go over here. Let's save this one because we're fine with it. Let's close all tabs. All right, let's go open up this one. We do have Kanban column. Kanban column, this field is required. If I copy this, let's go over here. Let's just paste that in just in case I've done a spelling mistake. Let's paste that in just in case I've done a spelling mistake. Okay, so we do have Kanban column, we do have Kanban level. I'm just going to hit exit. And it's going to go all the way through. Do I plan on doing Roblox scripting to make Roblox? I have not touched Roblox at all. Yeah, so that's a bit of a no at the moment. Sorry. Alright, I'm just going to run through all of these. So yeah, response dot content. It's the same thing. Kanban column. This field is required, but I've got data in those fields. Unless it wants me to put it in a particular format. Actually, it's easier to do this on the Kanban level one. And we're just going to do something like that. And we're going to break it down like this. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, no, I've just never dealt with Roblox at all. So, yeah. Alright, and we're going to comment out code we know doesn't work. And we're going to go exit. And I don't know why I'm letting it run all the way to the end. I just am. Alright, let's do that again. Yeah, we've hit an F, but we haven't hit this thing again. Do I plan on learning Lua? If I've got a good enough project to use it, yeah, I would use it. That's not a problem. I know a few different languages and so forth like that. So Python and VueJS aren't my only languages that I use. I use a lot of .NET for work. I've used a lot of PHP for WordPress, React also. I've used pure JavaScript. I've used jQuery in the past. I've used Angular in the past. I've used, what else have I used? I've done a little bit of Ruby. So yeah, for me, jumping onto another language is not a problem. And I just realized I have an ad break. Sorry about this. We have an ad break on Twitch. I only do this so no one misses out on any content and so forth like that. And Sir Drippy, hi, I'm new here. Can I ask what the stream is about? I don't know if you're in an ad break at the moment. So I'll wait just about 30 seconds to get to answer that. Just because you might be in an ad break. Test data contain a dictionary value for but multi-part uploads do not support nested data. You may want to consider using the format equals JSON in this test case. Oh. Alright. Cool. Alright, and welcome back everyone. What is this stream about? So, I'm building an open source project management system to help you manage your own project. It is written in Django, which is the Python backend, and VueJS for the front end. So, yeah, we're currently working on the API, and I've got a unit test which I've got to fix up. So, yeah, you can have Kanban board. You can collect organization customer details. You can gather those user requirements, break them down into projects and tasks, and when you're ready to do sort of release, you've got a request for change. So yeah. Alright, in here it's saying not to do any of this. That's perfectly fine. So we're gonna do that. And we're just going to go Kanban level 0, Kanban level name, and we're just going to go swim lane 1. I don't know if this will work. Lure is Roblox and love to D. Hitch, I won't even use just to make Roblox games. Alright, Lure API service is one simple toggle to basically allow you to script data store. Yeah, fair enough. What database are you using with your project? So the good news is I don't have to worry about the database. So Django, being the framework it is, actually supports multiple different databases. So it supports MySQL, MariaDB, SQLite, Postgres, one of the Oracle's databases. I'm probably missing Django database support. Yeah, Postgres, MariaDB, MySQL, Oracle, and SQLite. All right, I got all of them. There are third-party libraries to enable MS SQL and so forth like that, but we don't support that because it isn't supported by Django. By the way, I made update 3 on Grow a City game that has 4K players on Roblox just now. Oh, fair enough. Congrats, 4K players. That's actually pretty good. All right, so we're just going to run this one little test. All right, we've got this. So we go response.content, Kanban column. All right, so what did I do wrong before? Because I'm pretty sure I did this correctly. Did it not like that I had it in 2? So if I comment that out, let's move that down here. I'm going to paste this after, and I'm going to undo those 2. All right. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit. And I'm going to do that. And we're just going to rerun this. I know I'm going to hit that error again. That's perfectly fine. Hi, Time Bean here. Can I get a background story like what you are, any degrees, etc.? I got my degree in mathematics. Yeah, my background essentially, I got a degree in mathematics. I knew how to use C and MATLAB and all that kind of stuff in programming. In maths, we learnt that because, you know, use computers to calculate really big numbers sometimes. From there, I went into being a data scientist, fell into IT, hated it, learnt web development, jumped over, and here I am. That's a very short response.content, short sort of form of what short form of what my background is. All right, so I'm going to do that. And we're going to exit out of this. We're going to do that. We're going to rerun that again. And we're going to see what actually happens. And then I'm probably going to get annoyed if it fully runs. All right, I'm going to get annoyed because I had these in perfectly fine before. So I'm going to delete this. All right. Sorry, I didn't expect that to what. There we go. So that's how we had it before. All right. Is it not liking these? Oh, I see it. All right. No, I see it. Okay. Simple mistake. There you go. That should all work now. All right, all of those tests work. What we're going to do, git status, git add, git commit. Fix unit tests for Kanban board. And we're just going to git push. Okay, the next thing we've got to do is git flow feature finish. We'll be reopening up another thing. Merge conflict. All right, order to fix conflicts. All right, so I am going to go over in here. We are going to, I think it's just equals. If memory set, yeah, there it is. So, this is to deal with the create one. Kanban card submit event hook. So we need to bring this out. I'm just going to paste it there. I'm pretty sure we don't need any of this famous last word. Any of this. It's the event hooks, and that will be Kanban card. Easy done. Apply the event hooks. Easy done. Cool. Next thing we've got to do is look at this particular one. So we've got the head. Where is this? This is with update. This is the Kanban card API. So we've got the update. I'm pretty sure this is gone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just that. Old level. Yeah, we're getting rid of that. Okay. I think that's it. By the way, coding is fun, because to me it is. Fair enough. Fair enough. Coding is fun. I will agree with that. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. Alright, so update, just double checking this. This is the Kanban card API. We did this today. So we've got the serializers. Serializer, we've got the query set, we've got the update, get 404, we're all happy with that. The query set, that can actually be simplified once again, so that could be Kanban card.objects.filter is deleted equals false, and then we go Kanban board ID equals the quags, and we just got the Kanban board ID like so. And then I can just get rid of this. This simplifies everything. Are you using C Python or PyPI? So I'm just using plain Python, and when you say PyPy, I have not heard of that. No, I'm not using PyPy, but oh. Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Okay, so all of that should be done. We've got that. We've got the new column and stuff like that. We've got that new stuff in there. Then we update Kanban card serializer update. Yep. And then we serialize it and we send it back. All right, sweet. So, yep, that's easy. I'm using C Python. Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, PyPy is a JIT compiler for Python that is way faster than C Python, but kind of ruins compatibility with C Python libs. Okay. I'm using Django, so I don't know if PyPy can actually do that. I'm not sure. I have never used it before. Is that Kitty? Yes. So this is Socks. Right here. Oh, there she is. She's currently asleep. She does appear on stream quite often. So yeah. Okay. So I'm happy with that. I think I fixed all of the the merge conflicts. So I need to go git status, git add, git commit. This is fixed merge conflicts. And then we just go git push. Alright, so probably the most advanced coding is multiplying delta time, which is frame seconds, and calculating it. Oh, I've done some weird stuff before. Then again, I haven't dealt with delta time, but I've done numerical solutions of DEs before. In Lua. Alright, this was in MATLAB. Alright, so just gonna git push. Everything up to date. Alright, cool. Let's do a release. Alright, what branch am I on? I should be on the dev branch. Yes, I am. Alright, npm run prod. Whilst the prod's running, I am gonna double check some of this. So this should be NearBeach dot read the docs. Don't forget to drop everyone exclamation point drop followed by your favorite emoji. I'm doing Grumpy Max. Alright, procedures. Alright, development. So npm audit. I should have done audit first. Alright, that's fine. npm prod, we've done that one. Run end-to-end stuff. We've got the server running. Yep. So yeah, we're just making sure that we're not going to break anything. All of these tests are to test for that. All right. We have a couple of problems, but that's not too much of a problem. Sometimes it just doesn't log in. And a rerun solves that. So we're just gonna get this to completion. There's a few more tests left. By the way, I got denied by a dev because I didn't have a portfolio for my past work. I don't know how to make a portfolio. A portfolio of your work, like a GitHub account. Like, were you applying for a job? Or were you trying to submit something? You're applying for a job. My recommendation is GitHub. You can write stuff on here, but you can also put your sort of repositories that you work on. So I'm working on NearBeach, and I should also have the Docker one up here and stuff like that. Just point to this and then just build a few small little tiny things depending what you want to actually do. So I'm assuming you devs as like people that make Roblox games. He was trying to hire me. Okay, cool. Yeah, just put up a couple of like little tiny small projects. We're talking proof of concepts or something like that, that prove that you know what you're doing, and that you're not afraid for them to be open sourced. And you can always just point at your GitHub for that. So, yeah. Or a website explaining things you've worked on. Yes, yes, that's also another good idea too. So if you know how to build a website, you can build a website that sort of explains what you're doing, write a couple of blog posts and so forth like that. So, yeah. how do I send them my stuff on GitHub? So if you got a GitHub, what you would usually do is in your resume, you would have your GitHub account. So in my resume, I had my GitHub account. And then they can scroll this. You can also flag in your resume, by the way, these are what I've worked on, and you can sort of show your repositories. So for example, I've got NearBeach in here, which is open source. That's why anyone can read this. So yeah. So yeah. I'm going to keep this tab open because I'm going to need it in a couple of minutes. Alright, so this had run. This failed just the mobile Chrome. I'm assuming it didn't log in on time. We can just double check by doing that very, very quickly. It happens on the mobile Chrome a lot. Yeah. That's okay. So, yeah. Hopefully next time. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Everyone goes through multiple interviews before they finally land a job. So, yeah. And another tip is networking. So you can go to sites like Meetups. I'm just typing in Roblox in here. I don't know if it'll actually come up with anything equivalent. But you can certainly sort of meet up with people and so forth like that. Let's say there's a Roblox one for the developers and so forth like that. Definitely go to one of those. Because the vast majority of jobs you get are through networking. So, yeah. Alright, this should have run. Yeah, there we go. It passed every single time. Yeah, this is just failed with the login. It just happens. So we've done that. Make sure all the screenshots are fine. So we just go into here. We go into NearBeach. We go into coverage, not coverage. Sorry. Test results. Shout out admin. Just having a very quick look to make sure nothing is broken. I did see something before, but it might have... there we go. Cannot edit... yeah, perfect. No, that's fine. That's working as intended. Dark admin should just work too. Famous last words. Alright, sweet. Team leader. Oh, that's perfectly fine. Mine's called Robotic Head. So, it's fine. There's no data in that one. Alright. Which is weird. I should be having data in these, but that's fine. I can fix that in the next fixture. Alright, so I'm happy with that. Then make sure all the enter. Yep. Alright, cool. Push everything. So git status, git add, everything, git commit. We're going to go release 0.31.81. Ooh. I'm going to git push that. Alright, and Nocturnal, this release will have your changes in it. Alright, there it is. Alright, develop. Alright, compare and do a pull request, do all of that. So, this will be... this will be hidden changes. API changes. The following API node points have had changes applied to them. Improvements. Yeah, all good. This will be projects, Kanban boards, and Kanban cards. Easy done. We'll also have to add in the event hooks. But that's perfectly fine. I forgot to smush the that's really silly of me because I've got a couple in here. That's fine. Some of my silly commits messages have made it through, and usually smushing them gets rid of them. Alright, I'm going to go to CircleCI first. I'm double checking that everything's logged in. Working perfectly fine. I don't know if you do game develop. No, I don't do game development, sorry. But if you're relatively an intermediate scripter and you want to make your first game, should your game be simple for intermediate solo coders? Yes, your game should be as simple as possible. There's nothing wrong with creating a proof of concept and then open sourcing it to get feedback on it. Whether that's feedback for the gameplay, feedback for the code, or just any feedback whatsoever. A proof of concept is essentially you create something that is just barely passable. It's going to crash, you're going to have problems with it, it's going to have bugs, but that doesn't matter. It's a proof of concept. You're seeing if a particular thing or functionality is a good concept. So yeah, and showing people proof of concepts are perfectly fine, especially when dealing with interview processes and stuff like that, because you get to talk about them. Like, oh yeah, I built this proof of concept, PSE. I just wanted to test out double jumping and just aerodynamics of the character whenever they're jumping through the world and stuff like that. You get to sort of talk about it then. And yeah. Should games usually not take just one day or a couple of hours making games or websites? Do they take time? Making games will take time, making websites will take time, and making any sort of project will take time. So if you have it on a timeline, this is the timeline, all right? This is the start of the time, so 0. You'll reach a POC. Sorry, I'm left-handed. I'm using my mouse on the right. So the POC, proof of concept, meaning you get it out there. Usually, depending how large that thing is, it could be 1 week to 1 month. If you're spending more time than that for a proof of concept, yeah, that could be a problem. And then you got the minimal viable product, which could take from 1 month to a whole year, maybe even longer. And then over here is a release. And this takes N time. So yeah, if you want to show people your code and stuff like that, stick with proof of concepts, and just label them as that. Be like, proof of concept, hey, I wanted to try this. If you're writing something in a day, it's trivial, and you will probably learn very little. Yeah. Alright. Where was I? I was doing something, wasn't I? I was merging this. This will always fail and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about that. Bypass rules and merge. Alright, cool. I will go back and look at some of the deep source stuff and fix it all up. So, yeah. Alright, that's all closed. We now want to go to NearBeach. We now want to create a new release. In here, we're doing 0.31.81. 0.31.81. We are generating the notes. We are going to copy this and actually paste it in here. We are going to go to NearBeach. We're going to have a look at the commits. You shouldn't share your game code because doing that can make them copy the code and remake my game, and that would be bad on Roblox. But I can show I made the game on my portfolio, but just won't show my code. Okay. In that sort of case, my recommendation is to build a web page and sort of take screenshots of your game and then sort of go through pseudocode of how it kind of works. So don't show them code, show them pseudocode, which is sort of like the very basic high-level ideas of the code itself, and talk about it. Because at least then you're showing some knowledge of what you're doing. I'm going to snooze this ad break. Alright, so we've got all of this. Okay, new releases. API fixes. Actually, did I install that? No, I didn't. API fixes. Improvements for the API were implemented on the following objects. We'll have projects, Kanban cards, Kanban boards, and all right, event hooks. It's something you already know how to do it. You could make a trivial game like Asteroids and show them the code for that. Yeah, that's also a really good idea too. You could do something trivial. Something that it doesn't matter that someone nicks your code for, because it's something trivial, but it can be used to show that, hey, I know what I'm doing. So, yeah. Okay, event hooks. This is where I'm just looking at your commits. Nocturnal. You added event hooks on run scheduler. All right. Event hooks were implemented on on the Kanban card API, tasks API, Kanban views. All right. Oh wow, that's taking a while. I am just finding a difficult just to state in a sentence what you did. Sorry, Nocturnal. Yeah, yep. All good, all good. Alright, so event hooks. Event hooks have extended functionality in NearBeach, which allows the user to apply macros when certain functionality has been processed. I'm assuming that's good enough wording, Nocturnal. I've got to wait like many seconds. So, yeah. In the meantime, I'm just going to tick this. I'm going to tick this. I know the ad's going to run soon. I'm just going to snooze it for another 5 minutes. All right. I'm going to assume this is okay. Nocturnal event hooks are extended functionality in NearBeach, which allows the user to apply macros when certain functionality has been processed. If there's something wrong, we can always just edit this post. I am going to hit publish. All right, 031.81 is now going through the publishing. So yeah. It is 10 o'clock here tonight. I didn't realize how late I was streaming. I was actually going to finish a little bit earlier tonight. But yeah, we hit a couple of issues that I wanted to solve. So let's go find someone to raid. I'm going to raid. Ooh. I'm probably going to... Yeah, I'm going to raid Togbit. It's been a couple of weeks. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming along tonight. It has been wonderful. We got a lot done. Yeah, so in the next coming weeks, we still want to focus on fixing the API and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to focus on. Anyway, thank you very much, and I shall see you guys Wednesday. So yeah. Anyway, those on YouTube, sorry you won't be able to follow our raid, but thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.